everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. आज हम डेटा वेयर हाउस एंड डेटा माइनिंग की क्लास करने वाले हैं, जो कि क्लास नंबर 5 है. ऑलरेडी हमने 4 क्लासेस कर लिया है, जिसमें हमने ऑलरेडी यूनिट 1 कंप्लीट कर लिया है एंड यूनिट 2 कंप्लीट कर लिया है लास्ट क्लास तक. एंड नाउ we're going to start with unit 3, and that is your data mining and reduction here. In this unit, we'll be starting with this class. This is the first class of unit 3, and here in this class you will get to know about the data mining and the reductions of data warehouse and data mining. That unit has been included here. And in this, first of all, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel, so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. In the unit 3, that is your data mining and reduction, in this, first of all, I will just let you know what we'll discuss in a detail in this class. First, we'll discuss about the data mining. So in this, the data mining, you have to know very well about the data mining, that it refers to the extracting or a mining unknown and potentially useful information from the large amount of data. And in talking about the types of data that to be mined, कौन से type of data हम mine करते हैं. And for that sake, we have a flat files, we have relational database, we have data warehouse, we have multimedia database as well. In this, the flat files is there that these are the simple data files in the text or the binary format. And relational database, it consists of the set of tables that will deal with the detail as well. And the data warehouses, it is a repository of the data collected from the multiple data sources. And the multimedia databases, that it includes the video, images, audios and the text media as well. Talking about the motivation here, that the data are added daily in a database, and it that makes a large amount of the database, and there is a need to analyze or mine useful information. The information and the knowledge that gained is used for the application like market analysis, the customer retentions, fraud detections, and of course the science exploration as well. Talking about functionalities, that we'll discuss about it, and the first functionality is your characterization. In this, that it is the summarizations of a general characterizations or the features of the target class of data. And the second is to discrimination, that it is a comparison of a general feature of the objects from one or a set of classes of the data as well. In the same case, the classification, which is the organization of the data into that gives the classes that describes and distinguishes the different classes as well. The fourth we have is your outlier analysis, and in this, the outlier are the data that are different behavior from the general behavior of the data as well. And the fifth we have your evolution analysis. It analyzes the regularities or the trends for the data whose behavior changes over the time, that we'll discuss in a detail as well. So let's go ahead with the detail, and which we will have to discuss about it, that is your data mining. What is data mining? Because the unit itself states that data mining and reduction, so we'll deal with all the related topic in reference towards it. In the data mining, as I told you, in a short form, but you have to, it will be asked in a medium form answer type or a long answer type, so you have to answer other than that of 250 or 400 words. So data mining, the data mining is a process of discovering meaningful new correlation pattern and trends by shifting through the large amount of data that is stored in the repositories, and using the pattern recognition technologies as well as the statistical and a mathematical technique as well. It is the analysis of the observation data sets to find the unsuspected relationships and to summarize the data to novel ways that they are both understandable and useful to the data owner as well. It is a process of selection, exploration, and modeling of a large quantities of data to discover the regularities or relation that are at a first unknown, with the aim of obtaining the clear and useful results for the owner of the database as well. It is a process of exploration and analysis by automatic or a semi-automatic means of large quantities of data in order to discover that meaningful pattern and rules as well. It is not limited to use of a computer algorithm or a statistical technique. It is a process of business intelligence that can be used together with the information technology to support the company decision as well. Okay, this is all about data mining here. Now we'll discuss more in the detail, that is your why data mining is important, why it is important, why data mining has been the process has been used. So the data mining, why it is important, that across a wide variety of the fields, data are being collected and accumulated for competitive advantages and increase efficiency and provide more valuable services to the customer, and business is getting rich in data but poor in knowledge as well. In the same case, that the traditional method of the that is the turning data into a knowledge relies on manual analysis and interpretation. For example, in a healthcare industry, it is common for the specialist to periodically analyze the current trends and changes in healthcare data as well. The specialist then provide a report detailing an analysis to sponsoring the healthcare organization. This report becomes the basic for the future decision making and planning for the healthcare management as well. In the same case, we're talking about in the science, marketing, finance, healthcare, retail, or any other field, that this a form of a manual problem, that is probing of a data set is slow, expensive, and as well as the highly subjective as well. As the data volumes grow dramatically, this type of a manual data analysis is becoming a completely impartial, that is impractical in many domains, and there is a urgent need for the new technology and the tools that which help in extracting the useful information from the rapidly growing volumes of the digital data, and hence the data mining is an attempt to address the problem of the data overload as well. Now we'll go ahead with another detailed in it, and that is to discuss the various factors which fueled that the growth of the data mining in the terms of the data mining only. So in these the various factors we deal with it. In the various factors, the growth in the field of the data mining and knowledge that discovery has been fueled by a variety of factors here. The first factor is that the explosive growth in the data collections by businesses, the storing of the data in the data warehouse for easy and reliable access for the entire enterprises, the availability of increased access to the data from the internet, and the competitive pressures to increase the market share in a globalized economy. And the fifth factor we have is that development of the commercial data mining software. And the sixth factor we have that the growth in the computing power and storage capacity as well, and that comes under the various factors that which fueled the growth of the data mining as well. Let's go ahead with another one, that is what is the motivation behind data mining. What is the motivation regarding behind that data mining is very important, because there is a huge data and you have to mining those data. So the motivation behind the data mining is that the data are added on a daily basis on to the database, and this makes the database very large, and due to the wide availability of the huge amount of data, there is a need of turning such data into a useful information and knowledge, and the knowledge or information gained is useful for the application like fraud detection, market analysis, customer retentions, etc. The extractions of interesting knowledge helps in the decision making and the other important aspects of an organization as well. In the same case, that hence the need of the extracting important information from the enormous amount of the data that is motivated in the mining of a large amount of the data as well, that comes and that improves the motivations behind the data mining as well, because every day the data increases, and that is added to our database, and there is a huge data to find it out, the useful knowledge as well. The another thing that has been asked in many times, I think 5 times in examination paper of marks 5 and of course the 10 as well. So in this same case, that define KDD, identify and describe the phases in KDD processes, and they had asked you explain the data mining process with a neat diagram. And even though they had asked you about describe the steps involved in the data mining when viewed as a process of the knowledge discovery as well. So let's go ahead to discuss about it. And KDD, what it is KDD? So here this has been asked many times, so this is very important, you can go through with it. And in the terms of the KDD, if I'm talking about, first of all you have to know about the what is the full form of KDD. The full form of KDD is knowledge discovery in database. So knowledge discovery in the databases that refers to the overall process of discovering the useful knowledge from the data, and it is non-trivial process of identifying a valid, novel, potential, useful and understandable pattern in the data. It involves many different steps. The input in this process is the data and the output in this useful information desired by user as well. Talking about the steps that is involved in the knowledge discovery process here. So dealing with the steps. So steps of KDD, that is your the knowledge discovery in the database. So in this, the first step we have here is the selection. In terms of selection, that the data that is needed for the data mining process is collected from the various sources. Thus that the first step is selecting a data set or focusing on a subset of a variable or a data samples on which the discovery is to be performed, that comes under the selection here. The second steps we have here is your data cleaning and a pre-processing. And pre-processing. So in data cleaning and pre-processing, that state that the data to be used by the process may contain missing or incorrect values, so that the basic operation include the removing the noise as well, and in that same case that collecting the necessary information to model or account for the noise, and deciding on strategies for handling a missing data fields, and accounting for a time sequence information, that is done in the second step of the KDD process as well. The third we have here is your data transformation. The third, that is your third steps, that is the data transformation. These steps include finding useful feature to represent the data depending on the goal of the task, with dimensionality reductions of the transformation method, the effective numbers of the variable under the consideration that can be reduced, or invariant representation for the data that can be found as well. The fourth we have is your data mining. In the data mining here, that based on the data mining task that being performed, the steps applies algorithm to the transformed data, that searches for the patterns of interest as well, and in the same case in a particular representation program, and a set of such representations including the classification rules of trees, regressions, and of course the clustering as well. In the same case, the fifth we have is your interpreting mind, that is your interpreting mind patterns. Interpreting mind patterns here, so that in the same case here, that the steps can also involve visualization of the extracted pattern and the models, or visualization of the data that is given to the extracted models as well. In the same case, we'll go ahead in steps in the KDD, we'll go ahead with a diagram here, so that you will be get to know how they add work and how the steps move from one to the other. So here we have, it will goes towards it. Then it will come and goes toward, then it will go towards, and then it will go. So in this is your steps in KDD. So in the steps in the KDD here, we have first, that is We're going ahead with this, and this is your initial data. Initial data, and this is for the initial data, this is your selection process, and this is your knowledge as well. Then after that we have a pre-processing, and this is your target data, where this is your transformation, and in this, that is your pre-processed data. And again, then we have here is your, this is your that is your transformed data, and which is turned to the data mining. And here this is your, that is interpretation model, and we are, this is as you can see, this is the steps of KDD, which stands for that what we had even though discussed about it, that is a knowledge discovery in the databases here. Now we'll go ahead with the discussion, and there is another topic here that what we have to discuss here, and that is to discuss the use of the data mining in a various business sector. Data mining in various business sectors. In according of this, that the data mining is used for the variety of the purposes in both the private and a public sector. Industries such as banking, insurance, medicines, and retailing commonly use data mining to reduce the cost, enhance research, and increase the sales as well. In the same while that the insurance and banking industries use the data mining application to detect the fraud and assist in risk assessment, for example, the credit scoring, wherein the companies that can develop the models through the database that is collected by them over several years that predict whether a customer is a good credit risk or whether an accident, and claim it's fraudulent and should be investigated more closely as well. Where in the same case that the medical community sometimes uses the data mining to predict the effectiveness of the procedure of for medicines as well, and the pharmaceutical firms that uses the data mining of chemical compounds and a genetic material to help the research on a new treatment for the diseases, where retailers that can use the information collected through an affinity programs, for example the shoppers club card and a frequent flyer point contest, and to assess the effectiveness of the product selection and a placement decision, coupons offers, and which products are often purchased together as well. Where in the same case that the telecommunication services provided and music clubs that can use the data mining to create a churn analysis to assess which customers are likely to remain as a subscriber and which ones are likely to switch to a competitor as well. In a public sector, the data mining applications were initially used as a means to detect the fraud and waste, but they have grown also to be used for purposes such as measuring and improving a program performances as well. Where in the same case, now we'll discuss the another important question, and which is you describe the basic architecture components of the data mining here. Basic architecture component of data mining. So basic architecture and the component of data mining here, that what we have to discuss. So the various component of data mining we have, and we now will discuss one by one as well. The first we have is your database. In the database here, that this is one of the set of the databases that data warehouses, spreadsheets, and the other kind of information repository where the data cleaning and integration technique may be performed. Where the second one we have is the data warehouse server. In the data warehouse server, this component fetches the relevant data based on users' requests from the data warehouse. The third we have is your knowledge base. In the knowledge base, it is a knowledge domain which is employed for finding interesting patterns as well. The fourth we have here is that is your data mining engine. In the data mining engine here, that it uses the functional modules that are used to perform the tasks such as classification, association, cluster analysis as well. The fifth we have here is your that is a pattern evaluation module. In the pattern evaluation module, this component uses an interestingness measure that interact with the data mining modules to focus the search towards an interesting pattern. Talking about the sixth one and the last one, that is user interface. In the user interface, if I'm talking about here, in the user interface, that this interface allows users to interact with the system by specifying a data mining task or a query through a graphical user interface as well. Now we'll go ahead to discuss about another one, but before that we'll discuss about the architecture here. And for the architecture of a typical data mining system, we have so here with this pattern, that is your so with this that we have here. This is all is known as architecture of typical data mining system. So here in this we'll talk about in a detail here, and in the same case we're talking about this is a user interface. This is a pattern evaluation. This is data mining engine. This is your database or data warehouse server. This is your data cleaning, integration, and selection. Database, data warehouse, World Wide Web. This is other info repositories, and this is of course knowledge base. So here in this, that the database, data warehouses, World Wide Web, this is www, and other info repositories. These were all connected with data cleaning, integrations, and selection that goes to the connected to the database or a data warehouse server. And this where it goes to the data mining engine, then it goes to the pattern that is your evaluations, then it goes to the user interface, and the same one that comes to the down as well, where the pattern evaluation is communicated with bidirectional with the knowledge base, and knowledge base is connected to the data mining engine as well. So this is an architecture of a typical data mining system here. Now we'll go ahead with the detail and with the another thing that what we have to discuss about it, and which is your to discuss the various limitations of data mining here. So now we'll discuss about various limitation of data mining. In the various limitations of data mining, if I'm talking about, there are many limitations in terms of data mining, but we'll discuss the main limitations of data mining. The limitations of the data mining are primarily the data and personal related rather than a technology related as well. And in that we have limitations. We'll discuss approximately 4 limitations of data mining. So that the first limitation is that the data mining software are very powerful tool, but they are not self-sufficient application, and to be successful it requires a skilled technical and analytical specialist who can structure the analysis and interpret the output that are created. And the second limitations we have is your data mining is used to obtain the patterns and relationships. It does not tell the user the value or a significance of these patterns, and these types of determinations must be made by the user. And the third limitation is that the validity of the pattern discovered in dependent and how these are compared to the real world. With the same case of the real world circumstances, for example, to assess the validity of a data mining application that is designed to identify the potential terrorist suspects in a large pool of individuals, and the user that may test the model and using the data that includes the information about the known terrorist as well. Where the fourth limitations of the data mining is to that data mining that can identify the connections between the behavior and variables, and it does not necessarily identify that is a causal relationship. For example, an application that may identify that a pattern of behavior such as the propensity to purchase the airline ticket just shortly before the flight is scheduled, and that to depart, and is related to the characteristics as your income level of education and internet use as well. That comes under the limitations of data mining. Now talking about another one, that are what are the various issues that is related to the data mining. Various issues related to data mining. In the various issues that is related to the data mining, that what we have to discuss here, there are the various issues related to the data mining, and some of the issues that are as to be followed here, and that is the first we have is your privacy issue. In the term of the privacy issue here, that this is one of the key issue, which is that not related to a business of technological and but a social one. It is the issue of individual privacy, and the data mining makes it possible to analyze the routine business transactions and gather a significant amount of information about the individual buying habits and preferences as well. The second we have is your data integrity issue. In the terms of data integrity issue, a key implementation challenge is integrating the conflicting or redundant data from a different source. For example, a bank may maintain a credit cards account on several different databases, and the addresses or even the names of a single card holder that may be a different in each, and the software that must translate the data from one system to the another and select the address most recently entered here. That comes under the data integrity issues. The third issue that is related to the data mining and that we have here is that is a relational database. Relational database structure, or we can say that multi-dimensional one. This is the third one, and where in this that the technical issue is whether it is better to set up the relational database structure or a multi-dimensional one. In a relational structure, data is stored in the tables and permitting the ad hoc queries, and in a multi-dimensional structure that the sets of the cubes are arranged in array and with subset created according to the category. While the multi-dimensional structures facilitate the multi-dimensional data mining, relational structures thus have performed for a better in a client-server environment as well. The fourth we'll talk about, that is your cost. In the term of the cost, the more powerful the data mining requires and the greater the utility of the information being collected from the data, and the greater the pressure to increase the amount of the data being collected and maintained, which increases the pressure for faster or more powerful data mining queries, and this increases the pressures for a larger, faster system which are more expensive as well. The fifth issue that is related to data mining we have is your data quality. In the terms of the data quality, it is one of the biggest challenge for the data mining, and the data quality refers to the accuracy and completeness of the data. Data quality that can also be affected by the structures and consistency of the data that being analyzed, and the presence of the duplicate records, the lack of the data standards, and the timelessness of update, and a human error that can significantly impact the effectiveness of more complex data mining technique. They're talking about the sixth one and the last one. The last issues that is related to the data mining we have is the sixth one. That is interoperability. In the interoperability here, it refers to the ability of a computer system or the data to work with other system or the data that using common standards and processes. For the data mining, the interoperability of the database and the software is important to enable the search and analysis of the multiple database simultaneously and to ensure the compatibility of the data mining activities of different agencies as well. Now we'll deal with it another one, and that is to describe in a brief the important steps of data mining and the data mining functionalities here. That has been asked of 10 marks, which is important steps of data mining and data mining functionalities. So the important steps that are the important steps of data mining and the data mining functionalities that will deal with it here. And in the same case, talking about this, we'll go ahead in a detail as well. And there the other question also has been asked, and that is to define the data mining functionalities as well. So the important steps of the data mining, we'll talk about it, and that what even though we have discussed about it, the important steps of the data mining in this class only. And we are in this that the data mining functionalities are used to specify the kind of the pattern and which have to be found in the data mining task, and the data mining tasks that are classified into the two categories, that is the descriptive mining task, and that characterizes the general properties of the data in the database, and the predictive mining that task that performs inferences on the current data in order to make the predictions as well. Where in the same case, if I'm talking about here, that the following are the data mining functionalities. So we'll talk about the one by one each and everything. And with this, the first we have here is your that is your the characterization. the steps is, the first is your characterization. In the characterization here, that it is a summarization of general characteristics or a feature of a target class of data, and the data related to a particular user that define a class is generally retrieved by the database query. The output of the data characterization that can be presented in a various forms like the bar charts, the curves, the pie chart, multidimensional tables, and the multidimensional data cubes as well, etc. For example, a shop characterizes their customers who spend more than rupees 5,000 a year. A resultant that could be a general profile of the customer, like 40 to 50 years old, employed, and have excellent credit rating as well. The second we have is your discrimination. In the term of the discrimination here, it is a comparison of the general feature of target class data object with the general features of object from one or a set of other classes, the target class and the other class that can be specified by the user, and the corresponding data objects that retrieved through the database queries. For example, the customers who buy a to compute a product regularly, that can be discriminated from the customers who rarely buy these products as well. The third we have is your association analysis. In the association analysis, it analyzes the set of the item that frequently appear together in a transactional data set, and two parameters that are used for deciding the association rule. The first is that to support, which identifies the frequent item set in the database, and the second is to confidence, which is conditional probability that an item appears in the transaction when the another item appears. For example, an association rule is decided as, and with the same case, according to this rule, there are 5% of all the customers who are 19 to 24 years of age with an income of 20,000 to 30,000 and have purchased the laptop, and there is a 55% probability that a customer in this age and income group will purchase a laptop. And here, more than that, one attribute to predicate that to predicate here, and in the same case to predicate as well as that is used as well, that is, it comes under the age, income, and bias as well. Let's go ahead with the fourth one, that is your classification. In the term of the classification here, that in the classification the data are grouped into the predefined classes, and the classes of the data are determined before examining the data, and hence it is called a supervised learning. For example, a shop that can group its customer in a set of customers who buy computers and a set of customers who buy the CD player as well. The next we have your fifth one, that is your prediction. In the prediction here, that it refers to predict some unavailable data values or pending trends, an object that can foreseen based on the attribute value of the object and the attribute value of the classes. It can be forecast of missing numerical values or increase or decrease the trends in the time related data as well. The sixth we have is your clustering. In the clustering part, that it is similar to the classification, but the classes are not predefined, and the classes that are defined by the data attribute, it is unsupervised learning, and that the objects are clustered or grouped based on a particular principle of maximizing the interclass similarity and minimizing the interclass similarities as well. Talking about seventh one, which is outlier analysis. In the outlier analysis, the outlier are the data element that cannot be grouped into a given class or a cluster, and these are the data objects which have different behavior from the general behavior of the other data objects, and the analysis of this type of data that can be very important to mine the knowledge as well. The next we have your eighth one, that is your evaluation analysis. In the evaluation analysis, it describes the trends for object whose behavior changes over a period of time. That comes under, and that is known as your that is comes under in it, and that comes under the data mining functionalities as well. Let's go ahead with another question, that is, what do you mean by the outliers? What are the outliers? How outliers are analysis that can be done, and what is outlier analysis? That even though we had discussed some of the things related to this, but we'll talk about in the detail because this has been asked of in a different question form, which was of 5 marks. Outlier analysis. In the outlier analysis here, in this it is a data object that does not comply with the general behavior of the other data objects, or a general model of the data as well. In the same case, that those data cannot be grouped in a given class or a cluster, and these data objects are called outliers as well. And some methods that consider the outlier as noise and exceptions, but in some application such as fraud detection and the rare events, that can be more interestingly, and then that the more regularly occurring ones. And the analysis of the outlier data is referred to as an outlier mining. An outlier may be detected using a statistical test like distributions or the probability model for the data, or using the distance measure where the objects are at a distance from any other clusters. And in the same case, for example, the outlier analysis that may detect the fraudulent usage of the credit cards by detecting the purchase of the extremely large amount for a given account number in a comparison to a regular charges incurred by a same account as well. Let's go ahead with the detail, and that what we have to discuss in a detail here, and that is your what write and describe important types of difficulties in a data mining process, which has been asked of 10 marks. Or we can say that describe the challenges to the data mining regarding the data mining methodology and the user interactions issues as well. That is, now we'll discuss about the various challenges that is faced by the data mining process and the user interaction as well. So let's go ahead here. Various challenges faced by data mining process and user interactions are. So first we will have here is your mining different kinds of knowledge in databases. Mining different kinds of knowledge in databases. So here in this, that the different users have a different need related to a knowledge extracted from the database, and it also requires a data analysis and a knowledge discovery task such as the characterization, association, the classification, and as well as in the terms of it and clustering and the trends analysis. The same database that will be used in a different ways by their task for extractions of knowledge, and a different data mining technique will be used as well. The second we'll talk about here. Second one here, and that what we have here is your that is the iterative, that interactive mining of the knowledge at multiple levels of abstraction. Interactive mining of knowledge at multiple levels of abstraction. So in this, it is very difficult to predict what a sort of knowledge is available within the database, and therefore the data mining process should be iterative and interactive. And interactive mining allows users to focus on search for patterns, that providing a refining data mining system as well. Let's go ahead with the third one, and that is the third challenges that are faced by the data mining process and the user interactions are. The third one we have incorporation of background knowledge. In the incorporation of background knowledge here, that the background knowledge of the domain is used and the guide the discovery process and allows the patterns to be expressed in the precise terms and at different levels of abstraction. Domain knowledge that can help to judge that interestingness of the discovered pattern as well. The fourth we have is the data mining query language. This same case that we have here, and that is the data mining query languages and ad hoc data mining. In this, the data mining query languages that need to be developed to enable users to describe the ad hoc data mining task as well. The fifth we have here is your presentation and visualization of data mining results. In this, discovered the knowledge that must be represented in a high-level language and visual representations or the other expressive form. The technique used for knowledge representations are trace, tables, charts, crosstabs, and curves as well. The sixth one we'll discuss here, and that is handling noisy or incomplete data. So here the handling noisy or incomplete data here, that data may contain noise, exceptional cases or incomplete data object, and this may cause the confusion while mining for the regularities in the data. Sometimes that the accuracy of the data mining, that pattern discovery may be poor and due to the noise as well. Let's go ahead with another one, and that is your seventh the various challenges that faced by the data mining process and the user interactions are. And the seventh one we have is your pattern evaluation. In the pattern evaluation here, that the technique of the data mining uncovers many patterns, and these patterns may be interesting to the users and representing the uncommon knowledge with the novelty as well. Let's go ahead with the detail, and that what we have to discuss here, and that is the question that list and describe the 5 primitive for specifying a data mining task here. 5 primitive for specifying a data mining task. So 5 primitive for specifying a data mining task here. That is the 5 primitive for specifying a data mining task are, that is the first we have, and which is your task relevant data. In the task relevant data, that the primitive that specifies the data upon which mining is to be performed and conditions for selecting the relevant data, the relevant attribute or dimensions for the exploration and instruction regarding the ordering or grouping of the data retrieved as well. And the second we have here, the second primitive for specifying the data mining task we have is a knowledge type to be mined. Knowledge type to be mined. A knowledge type to be mined, that this primitive specifies the specific data mining function that to be performed, and such as the characterization, discrimination, association, classification, clustering, or evaluation analysis, as well as the user that can be more specific and provide a pattern templates that all discovered the pattern most that must match as well. That is the second one, that is your knowledge type to be mined here. The third one we'll discuss about it, that is your background knowledge. In the background knowledge, this primitive allows the user to specify the knowledge they have about the domain to be mined, and such knowledge that can be used to guide the knowledge discovery process and evaluate a pattern that are found and concept hierarchies, and the user believes that regarding this relationship in the data that are forms of the background knowledge as well. Now talking about the fourth one, which is your pattern interestingness measure. In this primitives allows the users to specify functions your the pattern entering, that is your interestingness measure. In this primitives allows the user to specify the function that are used to separate uninterestingly pattern from the knowledge and may use to guide this mining process as well as to evaluate the discovered pattern. This allows the users to continue the number of the uninteresting pattern returned by the process, as the data mining process may generate a large number of patterns, and interestingness measure that can be specified for such pattern characteristics as simplicity, certainty, utility, and novelty as well. Let's go ahead with the further one, and that is the fifth one, which is your visualization of discovered patterns. In this, the visualization of discovered patterns, that this primitive refers to the form in which discovered patterns are to be displayed, and in order for the data mining that to be effective in conveying knowledge to the users, data mining system that should be able to display the discovered patterns in multiple forms such as rules, tables, crosstabs, cross tabulations, pie or bar charts, decisions, tree, cubes, or the other visual representation as well. In the same case, while talking about another thing, that is what do you mean by integrations of data mining system with a database system, and describe the difference between the following approaches for the integrations of data mining system with the database or a data warehouse systems. No coupling, loose coupling, semi-tight coupling, and a tight coupling as well, that we'll discuss in a detail in a very a deep manner. So let's go ahead with it, and that let's go ahead with to discuss about the integrations of data mining here. integrations of data mining. In the integrations of data mining, we're talking about to accomplish the data mining task in an efficient and a timely manner, there is need of exchanging the information with the other information system that like database or a data warehouse system, and the data mining system is integrated with a database or a data warehouse system so that it can do its task in an efficient manner. A data mining system that works in an environment that requires it to communicate with the other information system like database system, and following are the possible integration schemes which are used to integrate these systems here. And the first we have is your no coupling. In the no coupling here, in this the data mining systems works as a standalone systems or is as embedded in an application program, so no function of the database or a data warehouse system is utilized by the data mining system, and it may be retrieve data from the source process and the data using some data mining methods, and then store the mining results in the another file as well. The another thing that what we'll discuss is the another one, and that is the other integrations of data mining we have is your loose coupling. In the loose coupling here, that is comes under in this data mining system that uses the some functions of the database or a data warehouse system. The data is retrieved from a data repository managed by these systems, and the data mining methods that are applied to process the data, and then the processed data is stored either in a file or in a designated place in database or a data warehouse. Loose coupling is better than no coupling, and this as it can retrieve and up any portion of data stored in a databases by using a query processing or the other system facilities as well. The third we have here is the semi-tight coupling. In semi-tight coupling here, that in this the efficient implementation of a few essentials data mining primitives that can be provided in a database or a data warehouse system, and these primitives that can be sorting, indexing, aggregation, histograms analysis, and multi-way join of some statistical measures like sum, count, max, min, standard deviation, etc. Talking about the fourth one, and that is your tight coupling. In the tight coupling here, that in this data mining system is smoothly integrated into the database system, and the data mining subsystem is treated as a functional component of of an information system, that the data mining queries and functions that are optimized and based on the mining query analysis, and the data structures indexing schemes here, and of course that the querying here, and that is the query processes methods of the data warehouse, the database, and the data warehouse system. It is a highly desirable because it facilitates the efficient implementations of the data mining functions as well as the high system performances and integrated information processing environment as well. So here we'll be ending up with this sessions, so that it will be exceeded more than 1 hour. So before that ending up it, first of all, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers. Please go through with the subscribe button, and please like, share and subscribe to our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. In the unit 1 we had cover up about the data warehouse here, and the data warehouse that we had covered up the overview and your data warehouse components, building a data warehouse database, mapping the data warehouse to the multiprocessor architecture, difference between the database system and the data warehouse, multidimensional data models, data cubes, stars, snowflakes, fact constellations, concept hierarchy, process architecture, three-tier architecture, and of course the data marking as well. In unit 2, the data warehousing process and technology, that warehouse strategies, warehouse management and support process, warehouse planning and implementation, hardware and operating systems for the data warehousing, client server computing model and a data warehouse, and parallel processors and a cluster system, distributed DBMS implementation, warehousing software, warehouse schema design, and data extractions, cleanup and transformation tool, warehouse metadata as well. In unit 3rd, we had started with data mining and reduction, and here we'll have to cover up about overview, motivations, definition and functionalities, data processing, forms of data processing, data cleaning, that is your missing values, noisy data, that is binary clustering, regressions, computer and human inspection, that we'll discuss in the next coming classes, as well as the inconsistent data and data integrations and transformation, data reduction, data cube aggregation, dimensionally reduction, data compression, numericity reduction, discretizations, and the concept hierarchy generations and decision tree as well. In the next coming class, we'll start with unit 4 as well, and the classification and clustering in the name of the unit. The classification will cover about the definitions, data generalization, analytical characterizations, analysis of the attribute relevance, mining class comparisons, and statistical measure in the large database, statistical based agriculture algorithm, and distance based algorithm, decision tree based algorithm, clustering. In this, we'll discuss about interaction, similarities, and a distance measure, hierarchical and a partitional algorithm, hierarchical clustering, Pure and chameleon, density-based methods, DB scan, optics, and a grid-based method, sting, click, model-based method, statistical approach, association rules, interaction, as well as the large item sets, basics algorithm, parallel and distributed algorithm, neural network approach as well. In unit 5, we will be covering up the data visualization. Here we'll have to cover up the aggregation, historical information, query facilities, OLAP functions and tools, OLAP servers, ROLAP, MOLAP, OLAP, data mining, interfaces, security, backups and recovery, chiming, data warehouse, testing data warehouse, warehousing applications and recent trends, types of warehousing application, web mining, spatial mining, and of course the temporal mining as well. So here we'll end up with this, and first of all, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once. And even though you can also enjoy the video as well, you will be provided each and every video and what we are going to do and what we are doing. So presently we are doing the data warehouse and data mining, as well as reasoning, database management system, computer graphics, principle of programming languages, and the reasoning, and as well as we'll start with the mathematical part of the competition part that they had asked about it. And so please tune with us, please like, share and subscribe our channel. You will get all the benefit of subscribing our channel, and please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.